What is going on, guys? You're back with another video today, and we are doing another rebuild, a realistic rebuild, and more realistic than I'd like. You Houston fans out there, I feel sorry for you. Not only did you lose, quote-unquote, the future at the pass rush position, you lost the future of the draft. I don't understand where this decision comes from. The desperation on the offensive line is unbelievable. Of course, we will put Howard at right tackle. I believe the Texans traded up for Titus Howard, who wasn't really projected anywhere where he was supposed to get, where he went. Then you have the Texans trading for Kenny Stills and Tunsil. I mean, of course, this is Madden, but QT and Madden, I do not care about Kenny Stills. Look at J.J. Watt's face here. This is the face of a man that has learned about the weekend activities of that Texans front office. Of course, if you like these types of videos, these rebuilds, these realistic rebuilds, leave a like on the video, maybe subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. It would be much appreciated. Clowney was traded for literally peanuts. We've had these figurative talks before, but when a man goes for less than Frank Clark and D. Ford, and he's Jadeveon Clowney, a former #1 pick overall, who hasn't played exceptionally well, but has played decently, things are looking a little weird. You know, it's looking a little interesting. I just don't know where the Seahawks come from. They made a great decision to trade Frank Clark, but the whole reason was because of the re-signing, right? Is it the Seahawks are going to assume Clowney's going to re-sign, or do they actually just find with a one-year guy that they might not be able to keep? Because, of course, they missed the trade deadline of when teams could re-sign him, so the Seahawks, I believe, cannot offer him a contract until next year, if I'm not mistaken. I think. I don't know, because how does that work? Can Clowney technically just not play the whole year because he's not going to get a contract? I don't know. I thought I read that. I don't know. But this defense with Clowney would have been great. You know, it was great last year. It's no longer that great. Barkevious Mingo is now the new, probably right outside linebacker, the 28-year-old who has never showed that he's been worth the pick. I believe he was a first-round pick, wasn't he? I want to say he was a first-round pick. Yeah, pick number 6. They compared him to DeMarcus Ware, which is ridiculous. I don't know how good he was, but to compare him to DeMarcus Ware is pretty good, because DeMarcus Ware is one of the greatest to ever do it. Enough of the talking, though. I have traded for all the players except, I believe, Carlos Hyde is supposed to be on this team. Once again, I didn't follow through with every single name, so if there was a guy that was released that shouldn't have been and he's like a 62 overall, I'm sorry, but I really don't care about that too much. Dylan Cole, of course, if you watch our Buccaneers League, we did trade for him, and he's pretty damn decent, so maybe we can get something for him as well. I don't know. The Packers should really try to trade for him. You know, they need a middle linebacker. He looks all right. Got a little bit of speed. We're going to get Carlos Hyde, and then we're going to trade the draft picks away. So basically, we gain a 3rd and a 4th for next year, and we lose 2 first-round picks, a 2nd round, and a 6th, which is, you know, just lovely stuff. Because of this thing I was looking at was saying there was 2 first rounds coming up next year, but of course they meant 2021, as I expected. No harm done. Super fair trade here. Jesus. And the trade was so bad that I didn't even know that it was going to be accepted here even. Like, it's just, I don't even know. Like, hopefully, right? A Clowney for a 3rd round pick. I don't know who gets the 6th rounder. Was it the Dolphins? I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's a 6th round pick. It doesn't matter in this game. So the team is dramatically decreased in skill, going from, what was it, a 78, 79 down to a 76. There are still some skill positions. Watson is a superstar development player. Lots of upside there. Receiving core, I mean, I guess Stills the new #2 around here. He's got a bit more bulk for, you know, it's crazy when you think of Stills versus, you know, being a bulky player. He ain't that big, okay? He ain't that big. QT, I really wanted to use him, but they decided to trade away their entire team for, you know, an above-average left tackle. I don't know. And, you know, the Dolphins, don't get me wrong, it costed them a bit, because, I mean, it didn't cost them anything, but losing a big left tackle like that is huge. I think Stills was kind of on the cusp of being let go anyways, but you can't deny that trade. They come calling and say, hey, you want the potential greatness of the future? Go for it. Now, I will say the division, a lot easier without Andrew Luck, so we could still win this thing. You know, there's definitely winnable Honestly, you look at this division, it's very close now without Andrew Luck. You really can't tell who's going to win this thing. The Texans are still decent without the guys that they lost, but they did gain offensive linemen, so they just don't have a great future coming up. But I would say if we're looking at the rosters right now, it's going to be between this team and the Titans. It's going to be a close one. Contract negotiations, I would assume, but there's a contract coming up for the coach we are. Yeah, that might be a different question. Whitney Merciless is wanting about $10 million a year. DJ Reader, I think he's worth the contract. He's actually really underrated in this game. I think he's very good to try and go for anytime you can. Bradley Roby isn't great, but of course with a DB, a backfield where really, or the secondary, the best player is probably Justin Reed. Yeah, that's not really good. Body Calhoun, I think, is decent enough. Obviously, whatever draft picks we have, we're going to try and fill the defensive needs, maybe even an offensive lineman if we can. Dylan Cole, 3-year, $9.3 million deal. I think we will hold off for the moment. A guy like Nick Martin may get a contract, but at the same time, even though these guys are the best of the players we have, you can't really get better on the offensive line if you keep going with the same old. Darren Fells, it's just, why? It's just, I don't get it. He's slow as hell. He's okay at catching. He's a terrible blocker. What's even the point, Jonathan Joseph, he's still here, and we'll probably end up giving him a 1-year deal. Whitney Merciless, I don't see how you can give him a 4-year deal at the age of 29. However, as the premier, which is weird to say, one of the premier outside guys on the team, yeah, maybe we do give him a contract. 4-year deal isn't crazy. If he can go up in development, maybe. I don't know. Lamar Miller, I would like to replace because he's just not the future. He's aging super fast. All right, here we are headed to the playoffs. It was looking actually pretty decent, so there's a good chance we do make it. And we do. 12-4, I guess it doesn't matter if you lose. Clowney, taking a look at the regular season, we were 7-3, and it really only got better from there. The one team we lost to at the end was the Buccaneers. We lost to the Raiders, Buccaneers, Chargers, and Jags. I mean, the Jags, I don't know. Chargers, yeah, probably. But 3 of those teams we shouldn't even have lost to, so surprisingly great season. Deshaun Watson, 34 touchdowns, 10 picks, 3,700 yards. Lamar Miller, and we now have our answer to being able to trade him or not. Yay! Love it. DeAndre Hopkins, a little disappointing. Offensive line. If Laremy Tunsil gave up 9 sacks on the season, and they were, just pure being bad, yikes. Even though it's a 12-4 season, I don't know where you go from there. Bradley Roby looking great. Aaron Colvin looking great. McKinney looking really great because he's a middle linebacker. Unbelievable stuff. I don't remember. There's really not many rookies. Maybe like Ballantyne, which I didn't start because I don't know. It just can I really start him? And by Ballantyne, I mean Lonnie Johnson. I don't know why I would assume thinking of Ballantyne there. Of course, you've seen all those upgrades. So what overall are we going to be after we head to the playoffs? Going against the Titans. 78 overall, not bad at all. It seems that I don't know. Maybe the Colts didn't make it, but Titans made it, we made it, so going against our division rival, which we took on 2 times and won both. Of course, that's how that kind of works. Titus looking pretty decent, actually. Tunsil looking very solid, 87 overall. 91 for Deshaun Watson. Maybe the sliders are a little high. I have the QB sliders on like 180, 185. Maybe that's a little too high, but it is what it is. I don't really care. You don't really get too much higher than 90-ish. He had a decent season, maybe not enough to get to where he is now. Of course, the Titans are 1 overall higher than us. I'm not really sure how this team went 12-4, though. I mean, you guys seen the simming. We didn't force any wins. It just doesn't make any sense, man. It's just some teams in this game are built to win and sim, and just some aren't. If you watch the Falcons rebuild, we did well, but we should have done even better, to be honest. I'd still recommend watching it. He recommended watching one of his videos. Wow, who would have thought that would have happened? Maybe subscribe and like on the video. Man, this guy is just charitable. He's just shouting this other channel out. Of course, here we are struggling a bit. 21-6. Start of the second half. Ooh, 28-6. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, this is not a good win. I mean, it's a good win for the Titans, I guess. But yeah, this is a pretty bad loss. 35-13. Luckily, we did make the playoffs because obviously the draft pick means less now, which is, part of the decision-making, I would assume. in the Texans getting rid of their draft pick. They're like, you know what? We're going to spend our first-round picks over the next few years on linemen anyways. Let's get a guy we know is good. He's pretty damn young, especially for an offensive lineman. Let's get it over with. It's going to be painful. The fans are going to hate us. Let's be honest. They do. They probably hate him. Yeah, I mean, what's better than getting rid of Clowney for nothing? Trading too much for a player. That's, that'll get the fans rallying around the team. So we have a couple of things. DB, linebacker, D-line. I think linebacker's next. Maybe we should save for wide receiver or running back. We're going to go DB. We're going to let Lamar Miller go because he was absolutely horrendous. Oh, Jesus. Can we, calm down? I guess to be fair, it's in the Super Bowl. I didn't notice that. Browns versus the Bears, and the Browns will win by 17. It's just so predictable at this point. You know it's going to be the Browns 9 times out of 10. Carlos Hyde, I just don't see that being a long-term thing. Lamar Miller, it's not that expensive, though. Can we get him on a 1-year deal worth 7? Would you do that? Okay, what's the tag? 8.8 mil for a tag on the running back? I'm going to save it because, of course, we do need Merciless back. We're going to lose him here. We're going to like to play for a new team. 15.5 mil is way too much. Jonathan Joseph's terrible now. So we're going to tag Miller here just in case we don't have someone better. Adai has regressed hard. Jonathan Joseph has regressed hard. Mingo, I feel like that was just a quick fix. However, it's a quick fix then we need long-term support out of. I wouldn't blame you. Fairburn was actually okay. We'll give him another year to give him another chance. He's exactly hoping for that. Dylan Cole, I'm really not willing to get rid of, though. But at the same time, we don't really need another middle linebacker, so I think we are going to get rid of him, actually. That's why he's on the trade block a lot. Nick Martin. So I'm not necessarily happy with the guys we got rid of. However, I think we can easily solve some of the positions we had. We're still looking for a starting running back. Duke Johnson was an okay trade and all, but he's really just a support guy. Lamar Miller is the guy just to save us in case we can't find a better running back. Tight end is a need. However, Jordan Thomas is pretty damn young, and he's okay. He's got some potential. Probably better than Fells, to be honest. Receiving core, do we trade QT soon? I don't know, because at what point do we get rid of him? Because we have Stills and all that. And then pass rushers, we literally need 2 starting players. DBs, I think, are fine. If it comes to worst, Colvin can play there if he has to. He actually had a pretty damn good season, 5 picks, I believe. Defensive line, we still need guys, so... before the season started, there was holes. Now, with a lot of the guys declining contract extensions, the holes become bigger. And that's what she probably said. Kendall Fuller, ooh, there's some names. There is some names. This team has a lot of money, if you guys couldn't tell. So why wouldn't they spend that money? They wouldn't. They would not mind. They would do it. So we're going to fill some of the big needs on defense with some very big names. Eric Ebron would be nice. Can we get cheaper, though? Miles Jack, we don't need a coverage linebacker too badly. So we've offered on some big names that would most likely make it a very tight squeeze in the salary cap for next year, assuming they accept. Chris Jones was a huge one. Kendall Fuller is the biggest one, though. Please. Yes, it's all that matters. Hudson did reject, which honestly, I'm actually kind of relieved that he did, because it was about 11 mil a year, which, don't get me wrong, offensive line is obviously one of the biggest, if not the biggest thing haunting this team. Obviously, the pass rush position is really bad now in real life or in game. But now, with a guy like Chris Jones, we could probably move either him or Reader, whoever fits right end more. And the interior is set. All you need is one decent edge guy, similar to what they had before with Clowney. And we're back to being in business with the pass rush situation. We have 11 mil. We can still try to find somebody. I wanted Eric Ebron, but we couldn't afford him, so I offered him a lowball deal. It was the best we could do. I would love Kareem Hunt, but we've done that move a few times now, and I just don't think they would pay that big of a ticket item for that position. We got Ricky Seals-Jones. He probably plays the starting tight end spot. We got him for rather cheap. I'm kind of curious to see if Kareem Hunt is just going to sit in free agency. I think he is. We were the highest bidder. I offered him, a minimum deal. Same with Whitney Merciless. Hopefully those guys are in free agency because I'd be willing to take them on for a 1 year, obviously. But here we are starting the draft, and we obviously, our highest pick is pick 28 in the 3rd round. We have a couple of guys on the list. I'm just going to take off the guys that are first round projected right now. There's just no points. We have some later guys, though, and one of them is Lincoln Colombo, late 4th round pick. That's probably going to be our pick when we draft here in the late 3rd. Forrest Ali, he's decent, but honestly, DT's not really much of a need anymore. And then we have a late 4th here at the left guard spot. So I think it's safe to go to 28. Hopefully Colombo's okay. Either a high overall and whatever dev, or at least a decent dev, and I'm fine. But obviously we may get neither. We're also going to take a look at what the Titans, the Dolphins get, because obviously they had several first-round draft picks. Colombo, thankfully, is there. He looks pretty good. I was going to say nothing special, but honestly, his speed looks pretty good. He looks like pretty good height. 72 hidden, yes. Okay, so no matter what, he's good. I've been kind of seeing, even though they fixed it, the little animation has been kind of telling again. Maybe it's just been coincidence, but I don't know. Something tells me he may actually be superstar development, which would be absolutely insane. Hopefully. Anything, I mean, at this point, what am I even arguing? I'd take star at this point, obviously. Carmen's gone, really. Early 5th. Do I really want to take this guy, though? We'll take him. Tay Smith. 71 normal. I mean, that's fine. 71. He's a big fella. Probably starts. I really wanted Carmen, but I did not think he was going to go that early. 8th pick in the 4th round. Let's see what we have. So, Roy Hayward. I mean, he looks pretty damn good for a guy you're going to find in the 4th or 5th. He has hidden. I mean, I hope my little speech I was saying a little bit ago is real, because, stamina's looking rough. If this man's Superstar X Factor, I will cream the old corn, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? I'm a farmer. Draft recap. There was nobody other than Carmen that we missed, because obviously, at the end of the day, we didn't have much draft capital. All right, Superstar Development, like we said. I'll take it, though. Star Development's fine. That obviously gives me a lot less hope for Roy Hayward. This one I probably shouldn't be doing because, he doesn't plan on starting, so if he does have something good, it kind of is cheating. But yeah, he has Star Development. I expected him not to have anything better than Star. NFL, let's see if we can find Carmen. Here's the best overall in the league. Well, best overall in the draft. The running back, we did have him on our list, but we couldn't get to him. And he was an X Factor. Yay, which is nice. What else do we have? Wait, was that? Oh, no, it reset. I was like, is the 7th highest overall 72 on the first page? We have a QB here, Jared Mueller. 21 years old, 6'4", Star Development. I couldn't find Carmen, so he must not have been that great of an overall. It wasn't an insane draft, but all things considered, with our highest round, draft pick being 28 in the 3rd, it was pretty damn good. I am not going to lie. This guy is going to obviously be the starting right outside linebacker. Once again, we have to decide Reader or CJ. Chris Jones at right end. Probably will be Reader, to be honest. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a pretty big turnaround. We're getting, we're building into the draft situation as well with these picks. Each draft we go on, the closer we get to being in a positive situation, obviously, which is, hey, that's a life lesson. As time passes, your pain will fade, and you'll just be a better person. And nobody can take that away from you. I don't know. New tight end, of course. Receivers, QT could be on the way out sometime soon. I don't know. I like him, but apparently this team doesn't because they got Kenny Stills. And that's pretty much that. So unfortunately, the free agents are gone. There's a couple of guys there, obviously. That's kind of how that works. But let's take a look. Where do they go? Look at this. The Saints have Kareem Hunt. How do they get free dibs? Where's our guy? Where's the outside linebacker fella? Are you for real? I would have loved to have Whitney Merciless back. Let's take a look at the outside linebackers. Maybe there's a pass rusher on the trade block. That's unfair. How can they get free dibs? Cheaters. Always playing favorites. So this is the starting roster going to the 2nd season of the rebuild. I obviously want Fulton to start at guard. We'll see what we can do about that. Sharpening. Hey, what you do with your weapons is what you do. Put him at center, perhaps, unless Smith is shorter. Oh, Smith could play center. He's a big old dude. He'll play center for us. Receiving core, pretty much the same. What else do we have? Pass rushers. Colombo, that's a pretty big improvement from Whitney Merciless, as he does obviously have a future. And once again, I've still not decided on who starts. You guys will know once the season is over, though, so it really doesn't matter too much. Body is younger than Colvin, but Colvin is Colvin should be star development, but since he's already so old, I don't honestly care. But Colvin's making a ton of money. He kind of earned it last season, though, I got to be honest. So I can't really say much about it, like $8.7 million a year, but 5 picks, decent coverage, pretty damn good for a role player. We now get the privilege of signing Deshaun Watson to a massive 7-year, $237 million deal. Now, do I think he's that guy in real life? Maybe not. Do I think he's that guy in Madden? Probably. Laremy Tunsil going to be played like a top-tier left tackle. So, let's get that one out of the way. Okay, apparently not. Will Fuller, a 4-year, $50 million deal. They usually let him go. We will, however, be trying to re-sign him. Kenny Stills will be let go, so will Lamar Miller. Zach Cunningham will get a contract. We're losing a lot of money here, but we're getting most of the deals done. Fairburn, I think we can replace him with the rookie, depending on how well if he plays really well, we'll just give him back again. But yeah, we'll just offer some bigger bonuses, and we'll be on our way. All right, here we are, headed back to the playoffs. We made it the first year, got a bye week out of it. This time around, we make it, but we do not get a bye week. We were the best team in the division, and we have to play the Colts, the rival Colts, in the wild card round. We lost to the Titans, which is a really bad loss, because obviously we may have had a bye week, and more importantly, it is a division loss. I don't want any of that. Wow, Deshaun gets paid big money and throws a measly 19 touchdowns on 15 interceptions. How did we even make the playoffs? Hopkins with a 760 yards? No rushing yards? Tunsil gave up 18 sacks? What is happening? How the hell did we even make the playoffs? We were horrible. Missed 6 kids. Literally, there was nobody across the entire board that was even decent. I don't understand how that's even possible. Our guy was number 6 on the list for Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is disappointing. What overall is he anyways? We're an 82 overall now. Good old Colombo. So Watson is a 91. No morale boost. So he's a 92 overall. He's a good overall, just not playing very well. 2 mid-throw. I mean, he's looking very good. Let's take a look at defensively. We have Colombo as an E78 overall star development player. I do know he got an Excel and a speed upgrade. He has a lot of traits, actually. Holy crap. 88 finesse move, 73 block shed. So we'll probably try to get to like 91 finesse and then start working on block shed. We replaced Clowney with a pretty decent guy, and honestly, by the end of the year coming up, he could be very close. Just comes down if he can get to superstar or not. Even though we did an experiment that proves abilities do not matter at all. It's all about the ability to upgrade with faster XP upgrades, not actually the abilities themselves that separates the higher developments, which is ridiculous. You would think somebody like, hey, I've got double me with these insane elite route running abilities. I should probably do a little bit better than the next guy, right? And here we are looking pretty even at 0 all. Can we get some points? Okay, I'll take another 3. This is interesting. Defense is doing well, but their defense is doing really well. And here it is, the struggle. Are you for real? Is this a joke to them? EA, is this a joke to you? Oh, we slow sim and we get all the way down the field instantly and the 2-point conversion. Come on, defense. You can do it, defense. I told you can do it. Okay, it was a little premature, but 2 minutes left. They are wasting the clock at an alarming rate. They ran the ball with 1:20 left from the 40-yard line. Smart decisions across the board. I think they could probably get to the field goal line, but honestly, the way this game is, it wouldn't put it past, wouldn't put it past me. Me putting it past them. Somebody's putting something somewhere, and I just hope it's not where I think it's going to go. Inside the tight end, killed it. Unfortunately, DeAndre Hopkins is not very smart. However, a really good run after the catch there by the tight end. We'll run the exact same play. Why not? Does it look like I have time to change the play up? Look at the tight end again. Go in possession. Get up, Seals. Oh, my God. Ricky Seals is very good. Kind of going for like a Hail Mary style play, but we're going to slant Hopkins, who's pretty damn beastly, all the way down to the 4-yard line. We have one timeout. I'm going to let the AI rock with what they want to do. If they want to tie it up, cool. If they want to win the game like champions, they can win the game like champions. Was this game made by monkeys? Let's take a look at the kicking. He didn't. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to force the game. So I'm just going to give us the force win because, unfortunately, this game was made by primates. Once again, unfortunately, I support the, preservation of the wildlife and all that, but do they really need to be working at a billion-dollar company? Probably not. Of course, so we forced the win, 27-20. No, it was similar to what it was before, but not exactly. The Broncos, 75 overall in the playoffs. Tom Brady. What? Why exactly is Tom Brady a Bronco? I don't even care, honestly. But apparently, Tom Brady is good enough to make them Super Bowl candidates, which is interesting. Oh, God. Bill Belichick must have followed him. Hey, jokes. And by jokes, I mean truth, that them together make an insane team, and they are unstoppable. Speaking of stoppable, our offense, very stoppable. I think it's the scheme. Somehow when we slow sim, we do really well, though. I'm just going to slow sim the rest of the game. Defense is probably out of it at this point. There's just no chance. Too much time, too much time wasted in the first half. Picked off. We wasted an opportunity to score a touchdown, and because of that, we're going to lose this game. 4th down. Can we start getting down the field? We lost. Okay. Are you guys, stupid? Okay, I'm going to play this, I guess. Look at QT. QT wide open for the touchdown from 47 out. Will the defense be able to stop him? Probably not. We did waste a little bit of clock, but that's not really our fault. 2nd and 7. Why would they kick it on? I guess you'd kind of have no time left. The chances are pretty damn low. We're going to run commit here because why wouldn't you run it? The percentages are so high to win the game, just wasting every timeout we have. And I guess that works too. It's just so dumb because, there's no chance in hell they're going for a pass there. Zero chance. But we do end up losing the game running a run commit. There's just no way. There's no way you run a pass there with 40 seconds left. Even getting out of bounds, it's just too hard. It's just too hard to make a play there. You got to get 7 points down the field in 35 seconds. But when you give someone a timeout, the game changes so much. I don't care about the stats because the only stat that matters to me is the fact that this scheme sucks. It's simply put, this is a terrible scheme. It must be because the offense could literally do nothing. And obviously in the regular season, they're even worse. So we chose some teams that are known for their offense and defense. Chiefs versus Packers, very interesting matchup there. The Packers win another Super Bowl, which would be awesome. As long as if the Packers can win one more Super Bowl, I don't even care. I'm not even going to be greedy. One more Super Bowl with Rodgers would just be divine. So Lamar Miller will be out of here. Duke Johnson, he's 27. Obviously he's staying. I don't know who the new running back is going to be. Fuller will be in the number 2 again. QT has moved up to number 3. And, of course, Kenny Stills will be on his way out. He did regress anyways. But more importantly, the money is quite expensive. If we have any way to get cheaper, we will. Right now, the biggest need is going to be pass rusher and safety. Well, just really pass rusher and DB. Fuller is really the only guy that's guaranteed a spot on the cornerback position. And obviously, offensive line, we're always looking for a new guy if we can get one. So, we're not in a terrible spot at all. The money might be a little tight, but that's fine. I think we're in an okay position. We don't have much money at all, so even if we wanted to re-sign everyone, we couldn't. Fairburn, he missed 6 the first year, 4 the next. 10 kicks in 2 years is pretty rough. So we will let him go. 1.5 mil to work with. See if there's anyone even here, and if there is. Oh, this is interesting because, Kareem Hunt went to the Saints, and they wanted him more. I guess maybe they feel he's more durable, I guess. I don't know. Kamara really hasn't shown that he's injury prone, so I really don't know where that comes from. But Kamara's gone, and the realistic move would be for this team who needs a running back to find any way they can to bring him on. And we could definitely afford him now. We got rid of Gibson. We got rid of Aaron Colvin. And who was the last guy? I think it was a lineman. Was it a lineman? I can't remember, but we have money now. We have like 8 mil left over. I think we have 8 mil left over. We obviously do have a little bit of a need at safety, but we were already planning on getting rid of Gibson. It's not terrible. We're in a good spot. I think we do have to re-sign J.J. Watt, but he's already getting $18 million, so there's not really much we're not expecting. We already expected Darius Slay would be sick to grab. He wants a 1-year, $14 million deal, which obviously we just cannot match. Trubisky, 5-year, 156. Oh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. How is he a superstar overall? We're only wanting that little bit of money. A 5-year, 156? I would have definitely taken him over Deshaun Watson. It is what it is, though. We're here. We're where we are. Still the only two guys you really cared about, Alvin Kamara and Malcolm Jenkins, which are huge upgrades. We can trade Duke Johnson off, who I think needs a contract soon. Kamara, just a beast. 26 years old. Has some abilities because obviously he's a superstar. X Factor. Offensive line would be nice to improve, so that's probably where we're going to go in the draft. Malcolm Jenkins is an automatic starting strong safety. A bit of an improvement there. We're trying to catch up on some of the age here, and I think we may be able to successfully do it depending on how good this draft turns out. So this time around, we may have to try to trade up, and the reason why is there are 2 tackles. There's actually several, but 2 tackles late first that are really solid looking. Melvin Kitchens looks insane, and he's huge. And this guy is also huge, and he looks even better. Both late first players. I think we can land one of them. Reed Ryans would be lovely to get. So we're going to try to go down as far as we can and see whenever the first one goes, we try to trade up right then and there. Hopefully it's the other guy, not Reed Ryans. Mike McKinnon, that guy looks, or McMahon. Good old McMahon looks insane. We're looking okay. Okay, there's a tackle. I did not want to see that at all. The Raiders seem to grab a really good defensive end. Please. Okay, there's another tackle. I think this is where our 2 guys are going to start going soon. The first one, please just don't be the right tackle. That's not him either. We're looking okay so far. Salisbury. Okay, so Kitchens is gone. We're pausing the draft, and we're trading with the Bills. I mean, in theory, if the Bills didn't want a left tackle, which they probably do, they want a tackle of some sort, we could probably go that route. Do we trade QT? I love QT, don't get me wrong, but can we really make the argument that we even have something that they would take? I don't know. So we give him 2 second rounds and Body Calhoun. We do also give him Sharping and Thomas for a 6th round next year. I think that's pretty fair. This is a late 1st round draft pick, so it's not like it's that crazy. Anyone else here? There's Kendrick Bray guy looked pretty good, but of course, running back is no longer a need for us. The number 1 guy for us is Reed Ryans. He looks insane, and I'm hoping for the best. He's very insane. Superstar X Factor, obviously not, but 21 years old, 80 overall. He could be star development, and he's great. But obviously, he's not star. Well, we don't know if that's true or not. But he is, 80 overall, star at least. I was saying obviously not because I was thinking of obviously not superstar X Factor. I don't know. I mean, that'd be actually kind of cool to see. I would be, cool to do an experiment, but I don't know if we could really do an experiment on it. But it'd be cool to see if there's actually such thing as a super. Oh, by the way, this guy looks pretty decent too. I don't know how good he's going to be, but B+ zone coverage is hard to beat. Harvey Bates would be nice too, but not a big position to need, and we'd have to trade up again. But yeah, I wonder if there is actually superstar X Factors for positions that just wouldn't have them. We're going to go to the end of the 2nd round, and if the guy, our pass rusher is still there, Landrum, we may actually go for him. Lassiter, he looked pretty good. He was a 5'9 corner. That tackle, there's no matter what, he's a good player automatically because obviously he's an 80 overall. He could have been normal and he would have been good. The pass rusher is gone, which really sucks. Early 6th, we're going to take that guy in the 4th round. Left guard Whitley, mid 4th. I think we're just going to go to the next pick. There's really no other point. We did, we still need a pass rusher on the outside. We're just not at that point. 4th, round, 25th pick. I might try to just trade down a little bit and grab that safety. Whitley is there, but we don't really need lineman too much. Another 6 foot, decently high, big guy. This tight end's good, but he's really built as a blocker, so we kind of wanted him as a fullback. Fits as a fullback, too. Whitley's looking decent, but we don't really need him, like I said, so we're not going to go for him, I don't think. Pick 10 in the 4th round. This safety better be there, because this is like 2 rounds early, and I'm just not going to risk it. So, LaJarvis Fowler. To be fair, that middle linebacker was a late round. Ooh. Okay, he's normal development, but that's fine. 6'2", 218, 76 overall. Decently fast, great zone, okay man. Decent hip power, actually. Somewhat raw, but looks really good. I think he'll still sit behind Malcolm Jenkins because, we did pay the money for him to be on the team, and he is the best overall. And, of course, this guy's not going to develop quick anyways, so it'll be the starter of the next season, and right now he's just going to learn from Big Malcolm. We traded 2 second rounds and a 6th round pick this year for the Bears next year. 3rd, of course. They're always in the conversation for the Super Bowl. So it's a pretty fair trade for both teams. More fair for them, but obviously it's still hard to land someone good. I think we may actually just go with this guy. It's a little high. Nah, we're not. He's not that good. That tight end is gone, but I really don't care too much. He was just going to be a fullback for us. So we only landed 2 players. We did trade up pretty damn high, though. Reed Ryans is insane. Obviously, he's going to start, so let's take a look at the development trade. It's at least star, so no matter what, we win. And it is star. Okay, so fair enough. Star development for that big right tackle. Fowler obviously is normal. I'm fine with star, It's perfectly fine with me. Where's the other tackle? So here's Dwyer, or Dyer, whatever you want to call him. Obviously very high of a pick. Could be superstar. He's not. What else do we have? So there's the tackle. Here's favorite. Let's see if he's going to be the Steelers' favorite. You knew it was coming. Let's be honest. He is going to be a favorite. He's 24, but he's obviously freaking beastly, and he's decently fast. He's got some ability. Here's a wide receiver with 90 across the board, 6'2". Let's take a look at how good he is. Star development. Had so much potential if he had better development. Still great, but yeah, could have been better. Here's another tackle, Guyton. Normal. He's still a good player, though. Normal is fine as long as you're good. Hidden, what is his name? Kamari Sellers. Star developments. Hopefully the other guy wasn't superstar because that was the only guy it was between the 2. It wasn't him. Here he is, Kitchens. Was hidden, 6'8". He's a big beast. And he was, oof. That sucks, but at the end of the day, our guy is still very good, so I'm not worried about it. That would be an amazing pick. The Texans would be like, finally, we actually drafted a good lineman. In fairness, Titus has definitely done well. I think, who is it? Is it Titus? Titus can play guard for sure. 6'5", isn't, massive for guard. Obviously, the tackle we did draft is 100% massive. The offensive line gets better. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better than the Texans line in real life. It's finally developing the way it needs to. The center position does need an upgrade. Fulton's going to be gone soon. But outside of that, the offensive line will be intact. So the exterior is looking pretty good. We have a much better running back going into this season. Defensively, pass rush has still not been solved, unfortunately. But we're still getting better every year with guys like Malcolm Jenkins joining the squad. Fowler, he'll be a long-term player at strong safety soon enough. The team is getting better. It's just we're not getting a dominant pass rusher. That's what we really desperately need. And unfortunately, we're just not going to get it. Maybe we can find one in free agency, though. Well, not free agency, in the trade block. Obviously, we just went through free agency. It was terrible. There it is. Preston Smith, 28, nearing the end of his Packers contract for the most part. I will be willing to give them a 4th-round pick. If he's on the block, they're willing. Oh, we can't afford him. Oh, my God, he's expensive. Let's see if we can try to free up. I can see why they want to get rid of him now. That cap hit is big. Honestly, I don't even think he'd be worth a 4th round. Damn, they're balling out on linebackers. Niles McGee looks insane. Rashawn Gary's at an 81 overall. Zadarius is a 28 years old, but he's looking okay. We're going to give him a 5th-round pick with Duke Johnson. We can afford it. They can afford it. Boom. Deal's done. Preston Smith, major upgrade at the outside linebacker position. And this is a contender team now. We are ready to go. So we have re-signings. I mean, we did add a few pretty expensive names to the team, so I'm a little worried about it. J.J. Watt definitely can get it if we can afford it. And by get it, I didn't mean it in your little kid slang. Pretty funny, but it's not what we're talking about, so calm yourselves. QT is going to get a contract too, more than likely. Right? QT. Fulton would be nice to keep. We'll see. He's regressing pretty hard at this point. He's 29. He's been going down a little bit here and there. And, when he really should be going up in overall at his age. And here, we're actually making a pretty big savings here with QT. And that's pretty much all we need to worry about for the moment, to my knowledge. I mean, that's looking pretty good. I like it. Here we are advancing to the playoffs. Obviously, we still have a few more re-signings to maybe take a look at. Not too worried about it right now. Really, Fulton is the main one. We have a bye week. I'm not surprised by it because we were doing really well. Didn't finish that well. I mean, it's a good season, but we were 10-1 at one point, and we must have lost a few near the end. The Titans, man, they always get the best of us. They actually got the best of us twice on the season, yet they were only 7-8-1. I don't get it, but it is what it is. We changed the scheme, a lot more touchdowns, a lot less picks, less yards, hoping, come on, Kamara, over 1,000, right? Thank you, 1,400 yards. So, the scheme is built more towards running, which is fine. I just want somebody to do well. That's all that I care about, is somebody does well. Doesn't matter who it is, just somebody. And that seems to be the case. Pass rushing, J.J. Watt, Colombo, really not good numbers at all. Preston Smith is more of a run stopper, so I'm not too mad about those numbers, I guess. We did get Jason Sanders on a cheap 2-year deal. McHugh should have probably started, but I took a guy that was a little bit better, and he was okay. Jacoby Brissett, of course, as he always does, just comes out of nowhere and balls out of control. Fowler was actually pretty decent. Not really caring too much about these awards, though. We usually never come close. We do have Billy over here, Billy O'Brien, looking pretty good as a coach, actually. He has most of the upgrades. Damn it, not Scheme. Scheme is pretty decent, it seems, so, I mean, we'll probably stick with that for this rebuild. I guess we'll go QB or running back next. I don't really know. Either one is very good. Let's take a look at the team, actually. J.J. Watt was decent. The pass rush was terrible so far. Colombo's pretty much done nothing, but since his development's okay, he's upgraded. And, that follows the same train with Ryan's here. Smith was actually very good of an overall. 76 overall. Nice. QT went up 4, even though he was terrible. Defensively, Colombo is now an 83 overall. Pretty average edge, outside linebackers, but J.J. Watt and Chris Jones on the inside have been pretty solid. Could use a new cornerback for sure. Safety, I think Fowler, once again, will take that spot. So really, if we're going to draft again, because once again it comes down if we win the Super Bowl or not, we will probably go cornerback. And we're going against a team that's 7 overall, or 10 overalls less than us, 76 overall. Can't wait till they beat us by like 15. It's going to be fun. Get ready. Right, start of the second half, we're down by 5. That changes to 8. Defense is doing an okay job. Offense just needs to get it together, which unfortunately, once again, it seems like it might be too late. Defense, God tier, sacks them or something, forces them back for the punt. They look like they were going to get a guaranteed field goal at least, which would have won them the game. Instead, it's a 24-all game. Defense has the chance to win this thing, basically, and they kind of do. They don't win the game, but with 39 seconds and 3 full timeouts, we're going to come into the game and try to bail this team out. And, of course, we all know the AIs will not use their timeouts, so we basically have to be the ones to save the team. And here, once again, OP ability. Hopkins catches. I mean, this escape artist has got to go, man. Maybe an ultimate team because, it's fair because, obviously, you have to pay a ton of coins to get the cards, but in this game mode, you could just be a terrible quarterback with a really good ability, and that's all that matters. Hopkins, wow, he drops that. I mean, all we need is a field goal from Jason Sanders here. And there he goes, rolling out again. Can he hit this tight end on the run? And of course he can. How is that even fair? Why is that in the game? Holy crap. It's actually unbelievable. I really don't understand why it's in the game. You can take a hit, and why not? Touchdown, Deshaun Watson. Get rid of escape artists. It's unbelievable. And they won't, obviously, because it's a core freaking part of the game. It is what it is. We win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl isn't the Super Bowl. We win the divisional round. Of course, we did have a bye week, so there's a good chance we could win the Super Bowl, even though we played poorly against a bad team. Love it. Jonah Williams got beat up. Colombo with 4 sacks. Who the hell does he think he is? A god, apparently. Without him, obviously, we would not have won this game. There was a couple of times where it was like a 3rd down and he sacked a player. Wow. Impressive. Impressive. Now we get to go against the Madden cover boy. 81 overall Chiefs led by Patrick Mahomes. We're higher overall by 5, but of course you guys seen what just happened against a team that was, 5 overalls less than that team? On the other side, it's Dallas and Green Bay. Green Bay obviously won a Super Bowl recently. I don't know why I went for the return. Dallas, really good in sim. You know, it's probably another year or 2 before they actually become kind of bad, so right now, they'd be one of the best teams going, and look at that return by Hayward. First drive looks pretty good, 7 points. Defense holds up, we get a score. Defense holds up again, can't score there, but defense holds up again. Up 21-7, 28-7. How can we get destroyed by the Bengals for the most part, yet absolutely smoke the Chiefs? There's a chance for a comeback, but it is so low. Kamara with a huge touchdown, 42-14. Actually showing we deserve to be here, and we're on to the Super Bowl. Is this going to be a successful rebuild for once? Kamara with 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. We know he obviously had a huge run, which pretty much iced the game at that point. Hopkins has been, honestly, very disappointed in his rebuild. I can't lie. He has been pretty poor. Kendall Fuller with 2 picks. Obviously, we've seen that. I know I'm a little bit, sometimes you guys actually can't tell if it's in sync or not. Sometimes I can't either when I'm editing. A little far behind. You know, my fingers want to do more than my brain does. Hey, hello. It's a sex joke thing, kind of, maybe. I went with quarterback. Obviously, it might not matter because if we win the Super Bowl here, we're going to end the rebuild there. The Cowboys, that's going to be a tough team. But I went with quarterback XP because I figured we have the guy to a 6-7, you know, what do we have, 7 more years with him. So, you want him to be as good as you can because he wants to play up to their contract, 86 to their 87. The Texan takeover coming up. Who's going to be the better team from Texas? I don't know. You know, so far the unexpected has happened, and I would expect the Cowboys to beat up on us. Wink, wink. So hopefully we win the game because of the opposites. Starting off with, I don't know who gets the ball. I think it was us, right? Oof, it wasn't. Damn it. Left to right is them. We're down 10-0. Clutch drive. Absolutely clutch drive. They get 3. We do not get points before half. We're up by 1. Defense is done pretty decently, which is usually when they score a touchdown. Not really. 31-yard line, 10 minutes left. Offense kind of clutching up. They do get a touchdown. They go for 1. Probably should have went for 2 there. 1st and 10. I don't know. Defense. Ooh, please, defense. 6 minutes left. Come on. Looking good. Offense. Look at that. Clutched up. They went for 2, I think, to try and cut this thing. 4th down. 4th and 7. They can't get it. Please. Touchdown and we win the game. I'm actually sad we got the touchdown, but we win anyways. An 11-point victory over the Cowboys. Those hats actually look kind of cool. I don't know if it's just the color scheme that's getting me, makes me happy with those. I love it. Finally. A clear-cut, clean Super Bowl win. A team that isn't perfect, but we obviously filled the major needs of the team. We drafted a few linemen. Not really a whole lot, but we drafted that insane tackle. We drafted another lineman that played center in the end for us. We ended up signing Kamara. We got rid of, certain players at key moments where we just had to, get rid of the contracts. We added new guys. Colombo was a huge pickup. He wasn't very great for us, but he was a key contributor. And speaking ironically, Colombo, a 4-sack performance again in the Super Bowl. An outside edge rusher wins the MVP of the game. Colombo had 8 sacks just in 2 games in the postseason. That was like double what he had in his last season of the regular season. Unbelievable. Ridiculous rebuild. Kamara wins the Super Bowl with the team. Kareem Hunt getting laughed at because they should have kept Kamara instead. There's so many different names that could be on the in the thumbnail. I would assume it's going to be Clowney, the big red X in front, on him. What do you expect? Maybe Hopkins. He wasn't really great though. Colombo wasn't really great. If you're really thinking about it, I guess I would probably put J.J. Watt on there. I don't know, man. It's very tough. They actually have some big names, but obviously Clowney is no longer one of them, unfortunately. Deshaun Watson was pretty poor. Very poor, actually, but defense did its job as they have been doing. They've been killing it, finally, in true elite defense, showing up and proving that they're as good as they are. finally, a rebuild goes the way it should, you know? We weren't the best team on the field. We weren't the best team in this whole rebuild, but definitely a top 3 team that deserved at least a playoff shot. We got that shot, and we won. So, of course, that will conclude the rebuild. 85 overall team. We'll take a look quickly at some of the overalls. Did Deshaun ever go to X Factor? He did not. Any other names? Titus Howard kind of worked out. And it appears no one really went up in development. There's honestly no dev ups at all, I don't think. Was there a single one? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure not a single player developed up. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you're new to the channel, maybe subscribe, like the video if you liked it. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Once again, suggest teams in... That wasn't even the Super Bowl hat. I think that's just the regular hat. Unless that is a Super Bowl hat. And no, it's not. It's 2002. Okay. I don't know why you would be wearing that hat when you just won the Super Bowl. But okay, EA, good job. But once again, suggest teams that you want to see in the comment section below. I had to do this one because, you know, we didn't do the Seahawks without Clowney. So I figure... Or with Clowney, I guess. So I did figure we do the Texans without him and with the added... quote-unquote talent, because you obviously lose all those draft picks. I think it turned out really well, better than expected, and hopefully you guys did enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you come back for next video. There will be 2 tomorrow, more than likely, and then maybe even a Blair Witch video on the 2nd channel, so that should be pretty exciting. But yeah, hopefully you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!